Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So we're just waiting for a few more people to join.
Where are you transmitting from?
So we're based in the Algarve. So this is Ideal Homes International. So we've got some people on, we've got some of the team on, so we'll be introducing you to them. But yeah, we're coming from the Algarve at the moment and in Spain.
Okay, I'm sitting in Dubai.
Oh, cool. How's the weather in Dubai?
It's quite nice at the moment, actually, but surprisingly, it's still quite hazy.
Is it? Oh no. I was there the last time I was there was back in September last year. It was very warm.
Still hot in September and humid, yes.
Yeah.
No, it's quite nice at the moment. Actually, they've just, we've been on quite a severe quarantine lockdown here. You were only allowed out once every 3 days with police permission, and only to go to the pharmacy or the supermarket. And but today they've relaxed it. All of a sudden, they said you can go out between 6 and 10 o'clock at night, and no police permission necessary. And they've opened the shopping malls again, which I think is quite ridiculous. They did it from one day to the next. Anyway, I'm staying in, to be honest.
Sometimes it's best to be safe.
I mean, yeah, why go out and risk it? It's a bit ridiculous all of a sudden, only if you need to.
Yeah.
But I phoned the supermarket also. I said, is it very crowded? Yes, I said it's packed.
Okay, so we'll make a start.
Yeah.
So it's nice in the Algarve today. So I would say it's around about 22 degrees, a typical April day, just after Easter. So we'll start by introducing ourselves. So the first person I'd like to introduce you to is to Charlie, who's up in the top left corner. So this is Charlie. She works for Ideal Homes International.
Hi, I'm Charlie. And then we've got Sasha. We've got Rosie as well.
So Sasha, you need to unmute yourself.
I can hear Sasha and I can see Sasha. Can you see me?
No. Oh, hi Malcolm, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
Okay, can you hear me now, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so good.
So Sasha, if you want to tell us a little bit about what you do for the company.
Sure, well, I'm a property consultant. I've been working for Ideal Homes International for about 4.5 years now. I've lived in the Algarve for about 35 years, and I've been in the property business in one way or another most of that time. In fact, a lot of the time in marketing, but obviously the last 4.5 years on the sales side. So my job basically is to present product to clients, which may be on an appointment basis, so I'm showing them a particular property in a particular location in the Algarve. We also have viewing trips where people fly in for 3 or 4 days. We pick them up from the airport, they stay in a local hotel, and then we spend 3 or 4 days with them, showing them a range of properties based on their needs and budgets, etc. Obviously, in the current climate, what we're trying to do is to do that kind of thing, but virtually, in effect. So that's basically what I do.
It's all changed in the last 3 weeks, hasn't it, Sasha?
Absolutely, but still, I mean, we can certainly present product very well virtually. I mean, it's 95% of what it would be like if someone was to fly in.
Perfect. So yeah, so a few things that we're going to be going through today is we're going to be going through why it's a good time to buy, because we have been out, we've arranged some really good deals and some special offers, which we've been offering out to clients, and clients are taking us up on them offers and making sure that everybody understands everything and what we're going through. We'll be going through the buying process, and we'll be going through legal taxes. We'll be going through the finance offers that are available. We'll be going through interest rates, what you need to do to get a mortgage, and what the rates are coming in at, and a little bit of an update on the currency and the benefits of moving forward. So I'd like Charlie to start off with why it's a good.
Hi everyone. So to begin with, the reason it's a great time to buy now is because we've got loads of reduced properties. So some of the properties we've got the developers to go down by 10%. Some properties have even cut 100,000, even one which has cut out 250,000 from the property. So now is a good time to buy because you're most likely going to get a good bargain. I think as soon as the borders open up again, we're going to get loads of people coming over, renting and buying, because everyone's so sick of being in their own country, locked away. So as soon as the borders open, I think we're going to be buzzing again, just like we are now. We've been having loads of inquiries. The first kind of 2 weeks of the lockdown was a bit quiet because everyone was a bit wary of putting their money into property, but now we're getting lots of inquiries again. So we've got really good deals with developers in the East Algarve and in West Algarve, for instance, where you can split up your deposit and buy 2 properties in a Dega and things like that. So, yeah. So now the buying costs, is he gone? Oh, wait, you need to unmute yourself.
Yeah, sorry about that. My connection dropped. I could hear you talking upstairs, but I couldn't hear you on the computer.
Okay, yeah, I've unmuted you. So let's go through the buying process. Chris, do you want to go through the buying process?
Yeah, so buying process, really simple in Portugal, is you take a look at a property, either virtually or in person. And the first payment, so once you negotiate the price, the first payment is €6,000, and that's to hold the property. Okay, and that's when the lawyer will go out, do their legal checks, check everything's completely above board and there's no debt on the property. Then you move to the promissory contract. So the promissory stage is the promise to buy the property. So you'd sign the promissory contract, put down usually a 30% deposit. The reason it's 30% is because we know that it's very easy to obtain a 70% mortgage. Okay, so once you're at that 30% stage, you're moving then towards the deed. Okay, if at any stage you pull out, then you do lose your money. So you have to be 100% certain that that is the property for you. Okay, if the vendor pulls out, they have to give you double back the deposit. So if you've put down 30%, they have to give you your original 30% back and double the deposit. So the law is very much in your favour. Then you would go to completion, and that's when you pay the buying costs. So buying costs on a normal property of around about €250,000 would be around about 7%. And that's the buying process. And once you complete, we register the property in your name, do the deed, and then we arrange all the utility connections, and then you either move into the property or you rent the property out. Sasha, have you got anything to add on that?
Well, I mean, just to say that the buying process in Portugal is a very simple, very black and white, very safe process. There's a lot of confidence in the conveyancing process in Portugal. And that's why there's been such high demand for buying properties in Portugal, because people feel very comfortable in the purchase process and safeguards backed by the Portuguese government.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes, no worries.
The 7% buying costs, who are they payable to? The agent, the owner, the lawyer? Who are they payable to?
So it's a mixture of fees. So the first big fee is the transfer tax, which is called the IMT. And that's usually around about between 3.5% to 4%. And that's payable to the government.
Okay, so it's like stamp duty.
Yeah, but then we have got a stamp duty as well.
Okay.
It's very similar to stamp duty. Stamp duty is really easy to work out. Whatever you purchase, it's 0.8% of the purchase price.
Okay.
And then you've got lawyers' fees and notary fees. So that's where we get to around the 7%. It's usually
Gotcha.
less than 7%, but 7% is a good benchmark.
Yeah, so it's kind of like your disbursements on
Yeah.
completion. Yeah, okay.
That's
Thank
it.
you.
No worries. And then, I mean, moving on, once you own the property, I mean, if you decide to rent the property out, so we've got our own rentals division, and Megan's online, if Megan gives us a wave. So Megan manages the rentals department for us, and she'll be talking soon. But if you rent the property out, tax is very low. So for the first year, they only charge you just over 4%. The second year, it's just over 6%. And then third year, moving forward, it's 8.75%. So that's a big factor in people choosing to do a buy-to-let over here in Portugal. So Megan, do you want to explain the way the rentals work?
Yep, no worries. So once you've bought your property, what we can do is offer a full service from getting the property key ready for you, which means it's ready to move in. We can help with furnishing the property, we can help with designing it, we can help with the linen, with the TV, with the utility connections. Everything can be helped for you. We have Portuguese speakers, which comes in very handy as well. And then once it's ready, if you're wanting to rent it, then we take over the full management for you. We charge just 10% of your rental income. And we have a whole bookings department and a team on the road. And what we do is we give you peace of mind that when you're not here in the Algarve, we are looking after your property for you. We market it online. We get you as many bookings as possible. And then once the guests arrive, we meet them, we show them around the property, and we're on hand at all times for anything they may need during their stay. We also have a lot of communication with yourselves so that you know that we are looking after everything for you. We arrange payments to be sent on to you. We sort out your invoices. We liaise with your accountant and do the CEF reporting, because that's a government requirement here in Portugal. So it's about the immigration. So we collect those details for your guests and send them on to your accountant, so you don't have to worry. We basically do everything for you, so you can sit back and just receive the income at the end of the day. If you weren't wanting to rent, we also do just property management. So this is for people who just use it for themselves and their friends and family. And for that, we just charge you an annual fee of €600. So there are lots of different options. If you're just wanting it for yourselves, or if you're wanting it as a second business, we can help you.
Perfect, thank you. So a little bit more on annual taxes. So you've got your rental tax, which after 3 years ends up being 8.75%. The other thing that you pay is council tax. So council tax is based on the fiscal value of the property. A good indication of working out the council tax on a particular property is usually, and it's not always 100% correct, but usually the best way to work this out is simply it's 0.25% of the purchase price. So if a property costs €200,000, it's simply €500 per year. And they split that into 2 payments. So one payment in April and the next payment in September. So, and that's really your running costs. So, I mean, you have got condominium fees if you're in an apartment. They usually range for a 2-bed, sort of a 2-bed apartment with no swimming pool, no elevators, would be around about €20 a month. To a luxury apartment, say here in Villa Sol where we are, they can go up to €300 per month. So when you're making that choice to purchase a property, you should always be asking that question: what facilities does the condominium have, and how much are the expected condominium fees? And now I'm going to talk a little bit about finance. So this is probably one of the #1 reasons to buy in Portugal right now. So the Portuguese banks, I mean, I started the company during the crisis, and just before the crisis started, back in 2009, the Portuguese banks were lending money at an interest rate of around about 4%. It's quite high. Then during the crisis, they stopped lending money, or would only do a 50% mortgage. And right now, I mean, because things have been improving, the mortgages are at an absolute all-time low. So, and the acceptance rate is fantastic. So the best mortgage that you'll be looking to get at the moment will be around about 1.1% interest rate. The banks will lend you at 80%, and they'll do that for up to the age of 80, with a maximum term of 35 years. So what that means is if somebody is, say, 50 years of age, 50, 60, 70, 80, so you could get a 30-year mortgage with a 20% deposit. So the interest rates are really good. I mean, yeah, I mean, there's never been a better, lower time, and it's an effective rate. So what that means is if you're getting an interest rate of 1.1%, because Euribor's on a minus, your effective rate is probably 0.9. So yeah, the interest rates are at an all-time low. And at the moment, we've got around about a 99% acceptance rate. So they'll never turn you down for a mortgage. They might just say, instead of lending you 80%, we'll only lend you 76%. And we can start that process for you. So we're one of the only licensed brokers in Portugal that's got a special license to be able to do in-house mortgages. So you don't even need to go to a broker and pay any money. You can start that process free of charge. Anyone who buys with Ideal Homes, that service comes free. So it's a good service. What we do with that is we simply apply with 4 different banks for you, and you accept the offer that suits your needs. So it's a good, easy way to do things.
How does that compare to Spain?
So Spain's slightly higher. So the best mortgages I'm seeing coming out of Spain at the moment are around the 2.2% mark, and they'll do 70% of the property value. So it's still pretty good.
Sorry, we've got Ben here as well. I'm trying to find you. There you are. Ben, do you want to unmute yourself? I'll do it. There we go.
Hi, Ben. So Ben's based in Spain. He's one of our staff on the ground in the Costa Blanca.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hey, Ben. What's going on over in Spain?
Yeah, well, mortgages are, I would say that the majority of people who apply for a non-resident mortgage over here, it's going to be about 60% of the property value. There is 2 banks that do offer 70%, but to actually obtain that mortgage package is quite difficult to do. So I would say 60%, with obviously 40% being either stage payments or one lump sum deposit.
Cool. And what would be a good buy at the moment in Spain?
Very much depends. I mean, people have different usages for their property. So it depends really what you're looking for. And that's obviously what we do. We would kind of ascertain exactly what your needs are and find out what you want the property to do for you, and then find a property that matches your requirements. So just today, I've spoken to a client who's looking for a property purely for a rental investment. We've introduced a 99,000 2-bed, 2-bathroom apartment on a golf course, which has golf, lake, and also mountain views. It's easily accessible by Murcia Airport, and you've got all the amenities on site, so you don't have to necessarily have a hire car, and that fits her requirements perfectly. So then you've also got properties which are in slightly more tourist-driven areas, which is going to be used on a more personal basis. So if somebody wants to go over and have a holiday when it suits them, when they want to, and they're not going to rent out at all, you can try and be a little bit more lifestyle focused rather than investment focused. So it's really a case of trying to really understand what your driving factors are, and then finding a property that suits.
Perfect. That sounds cool. I was actually across in Spain with Ben about 3 weeks ago, and we went and looked at some more locations and some of the properties. I mean, Spain's a much, much bigger market compared to Portugal. And to give you an idea, in the Algarve, we work with around about 15 developers only, and the developments are quite small. They're only usually an average size of about 40 units per development. In Spain, it's kind of the opposite. There's a much bigger appetite, especially from the sort of the northern countries, sort of England, Ireland, Germany, and they, Spain's the #1 hotspot over there. So there's a lot bigger developments, a lot more going on. So yeah, that's where the differences lie. In Spain so go on, Ben.
No, I was just going to say, I think with Portugal, it's quite niche because there's only that size land there. Once it's gone, it's gone. With Spain, you can always go further up the coast. So I think Portugal's got that sort of unique appeal because once it's gone, they're not going to build any more lands. Once it's gone, it's no longer there. But with Spain, there's so many empty plots that they can just kind of carry on up the coast. That some people then find that you have to be quite selective if you're looking for a rental investment. You have to be quite careful with your choice because there is a lot of choice there. Whereby with Portugal, I think from a rental point of view, I think it does fantastically well.
Yeah, I mean the with the rental point of view, the number one, because we've been doing rentals now for 10 years. The number one place for rentals at the moment, it used to be Villamora. It used to be that you'd buy an apartment in Villamora sort of 10 years ago, you'd get a very good rental return, and you still do. But now the prices have increased. I know all the new build in Villamora now is really getting on for sort of the 600,000 mark. And on something like that, you're probably expecting to see a return of around about 30,000 per year. And you've got quite a lot of competitions, quite a lot of hotels, there are a lot of apartments. So the best place for rental returns at the moment, I don't see is Lagos, and that's because they made they made Lagos a lot more accessible with the motorway. They built the new railway station down there. And there's not too many hotels, and there's not too many quality hotels. I mean, if you look at the Tivoli Hotel, which is the 5-star hotel in the centre, it's a nice hotel. It could probably do with a refurb, but because it's always running at a good occupancy rate, they perhaps don't feel the need to refurbish it. So we started selling in Lagos, as I say, 10 years ago. In a 2-bed apartment would typically, in the first year, rent out for about 25 weeks. And we've seen that increase a lot over the last few years. And we've been speaking to the developers and we're saying, look, the type of client or the type of property we need for our type of client is something that's got a good location, good facilities, and that stretches out. So if it's got an indoor pool, that stretches out the rental yield because then you can get rentals out of season as well. And Lagos is very much an all year round resort. So it's a bit different to Albufeira and Villamora. So that's what I like about that. So I'm going to ask Sasha in a minute to tell us about what's good to buy at the moment and what's selling, what people are looking for, because he's got a really good detailed view of this. And he'd be the person taking you out and showing you a virtual tour. So if you can let us know, Sasha, what would you say, in your opinion, is a good buy right now?
Yes, well, I mean, one of the reasons why Lagos is such a great place to invest in, apart from what Chris has just mentioned, is that there are 2 very good high-end quality developers who are building luxury properties in Lagos that work really well as homes, home away from homes, and also for rental income in great locations, close to beaches, in and around Lagos or close to the town centres. And they basically tick all the boxes for someone who's looking, for example, for a rental income property. They're a high-end quality, from underfloor heating, air conditioning, central vacuuming, central hi-fi system, large terraces, largish apartments, rooftop communal terraces, private car parking, storage room. Some developments have inside heated pools with jacuzzis, saunas, gymnasiums. So they have all the attributes really for a holiday home and also for rental income. And these developers have been in business for 30, 40 years. They don't borrow any money from the bank. They're also self-funded. They can ride out any sort of downturns in the property market. And your money is very safe because they're also able to offer bank guarantees on your deposits. If you're looking at a property which is under construction, and there are a couple of developments that I rate very highly that are sort of 15 months, 18 months out from completion. So you can also bespoke the property with your own sort of a color scheme inside and so on. So, you know, there really are 2 or 3 projects in Lagos that, you know, we've sold quite a few apartments in, and you know, those are the ones that I would recommend.
Okay, and what does the deal look like there?
Well, you mean in terms of the purchase process?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, the way it would work is that you know, we would provide you with sort of detailed information initially on the projects, and if you like that, you know, what you see, then we could go out on a virtual tour and show you the various units depending upon what your budget is, and the properties are ranging from 250,000 up to 500,000 euros. Once you've selected a property, you would then put down a 6,000 euro reservation with a local lawyer, and we have a number of lawyers that we could recommend for you to represent you in the purchase. Your lawyer would then do the due diligence on the property, and that would mean basically collecting the paperwork, making sure that that everything is as it should be. Providing that's the case, then a promissory contract will be drafted, usually with a 30% deposit. Once you've agreed with that contract, you would send over your deposit minus the 6,000 euros. Up until this point, you're not committed to the process. But once you put down your 30% deposit, then obviously you're committed to the process. You would, in the case of these developers, get a bank guarantee on your deposit in those circumstances. And then upon completion, it'll be at that point that you would then need to obviously send over the 70%, unless of course you're looking for a mortgage. If you're looking for a mortgage, then you wouldn't be signing the promissory contract until we sort of pre-approved you for the mortgage, because remember, once you put down the 30% deposit, you're committed to the process. So you don't want to be doing that until, you know, you're sure that you in principle can get a mortgage. So if that was the case, then at the back end, when the property is ready to be delivered to you, it would just simply mean that the bank would be handing over the 70%. And then once that's completed, the property is registered in your name. We could then obviously set up this sort of electricity contracts, the TV contracts, etc.
Okay, perfect. That's cool. I see we've just got a question coming in. So someone's just asked, do you deal with private villas and not large developments? Yeah, I mean, we've got resales along the Algarve. So next week, I mean, we basically, when all this started happening, we went out to people and we said, do you want to reduce your property? Are you in a rush to sell? One of the biggest bargains I came across, which we'll be releasing next week, is a rather large 5-bedroom villa very close to Alval. That's going to be worth in the region of 500,000 euros, and that's probably going to go on the market for about 370. And I'm just waiting to get the photographs and the virtual touring for next week. So that's a good buy. There was an apartment in Villamora. The developers finished the development. It's completely done. And they reduced the price from 385 down to 329. So I thought that was a good buy. There was another little 1-bed apartment in Alval that was reduced to 125. That needs some refurbishment, so new kitchen, new bathroom. So yeah, so there's different bargains coming in. It's not as if everybody sort of jumped on the bandwagon. This isn't like the last financial crisis when people were having money troubles because the bank wouldn't let them pause the mortgages. At the moment, if you're, and I think it's around the world as well, that you can actually pause your mortgage. So even though people aren't getting rental income, they can pause the mortgage. Another question we just had in, how mortgage terms differ for non-EU residents. It's just, so the banks over in Portugal, they want you to issue things like credit reports and things like that. And that can sometimes be a struggle. So that is really reliant on you. But basically, if, like my mortgage at the moment, I've got a rate of 0.8%. So for non-residents, the interest rate is 1.1. So that's where it varies. Somebody's just asked the current state of the golden visa. So the current state at the moment is, just before all this happened, they talked about they talked a lot about pausing the golden visa for Porto and Lisbon, and we really thought that was going to happen. And that's because the golden visa has been going on since 2013, and Lisbon prices have shot through the roof. I mean, it's still not as expensive as Paris and London, but it's not Paris or London. So it has created a bit of a bubble up there. So that's why they wanted to pause it. And they were still keeping it the same in the Algarve. And because the Algarve's classed as a low density area, instead of investing 500,000, they only require you to invest 400,000.
Sorry, I think you missed a couple of questions. What banks do we use, and are we going to have one separately for the Spanish market? So I think, what does everyone think? Should we do this once a week at the same time, and each time we'll have a different topic? Like next week could be all about Spain. 1 week we could have one all about holiday rentals. 1 week we could have all about mortgages and the different banks that we use.
Yeah, and we could also call the mortgage broker in, so she could go more in depth with what paperwork's required. So that could work really well.
Yes, hi Tom. I see you're on the call. Chris, Tom has asked about.
Gonna mute me.
Chris, Tom has asked about the list of recommended banks, both for mortgages.
Hi Tom.
Hey, how are you, mate?
Very good. So so Tom came over on a tour with us back in, was that February this year?
Yeah, just before everything shut down, mate.
In February this year, we took a group, there was about 30 of us, and we had people, we split into groups of like 5 different people, and we explored the east, the west. We probably saw in the region of 10 different developments and some resales. So yeah, it was quite nice to tour, wasn't it?
Great tour, great job. Everybody did a really good job. Sasha, Chris, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
No worries.
You're welcome.
So I'm just reading through some of the questions. But yeah, I think we organise, so this has been our first webinar, so thank you very much for joining us all. If you've got any individual questions, so Charlie's going to be answering any emails. She can give you a one-to-one personal call. So Charlie, do you want to tell everybody your phone number and email address?
Love to. I'll write it in the chat, and then if you've got any questions, you can just email me. I noticed a lot of your names anyway, obviously Tom, Malcolm, Ken, Vincent. So yeah, I think I've got everyone's contact details, but I'll run through everyone that joined and give you a call or an email after. And if you've got any topics that you want us to cover next time, or because we might do this twice a week or once a week, so just let us know and we'll cover it next time.
Oh, someone's just asking, is your brokerage service only available for properties you're promoting? No, we offer that service to everybody. So just let us know. It's just that if you're buying a property for ourselves, we don't charge for the service. If you're buying a property with somebody else, we have to charge a little bit of money, and the cost for that is €250.
So I'm just gonna, so if you want to contact me about Portugal, but if it's for Spain, I'm gonna give you Ben's email because that's probably best. Ben@idealhomesinternational.co.uk.
Okay, well, we're down to the last few minutes. So I'd just like to say thank you. Has anyone got anything else to add?
Our mortgage is available for rental properties, yes.
Can I just say something?
Go on, Bruno.
Go on, Bruno.
Oh, I just want to tell you that this is basically this time of this fire is a big opportunity to buy, because I have some developers already tell me that the discount that they are doing now, they are going to stop on 2nd of May. After that, some of the developers, they will take some of the discount. So this is a big opportunity for someone that already decided to buy in Portugal, because after 2nd of May, the government is going to open, going to try to open everything. And in that case, developers will take some of the discounts and some of the things that are offering now until 2nd of May. So if you decided to buy in Portugal, I think this is a fantastic opportunity for you. So we hope this goes quick. But the thing is, after this all gone, the Algarve is going to be, people will look more for the Algarve that they were looking before this, because of the low population density. People are going to look more for the Algarve. So if you decide to buy in the Algarve, this is an opportunity, and opportunities they got a date. And after some dates, the opportunity goes, and the discounts probably goes as well. So.
Thank you very much. All right, and if you've got questions about rentals, we've got Megan. So Megan can share her email address on chat. And then we'll see you again next week. But stay safe, everybody. And thank you again. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
See you next week.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Stay safe, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Okay.